Community connections, CKMS. Local sounds, thoughts, passions, and success. Celebrate local, your neighbor's got a story to tell. Community connections, CKMS.
Happy Monday, Waterloo Region. It's CKMS Community Connections for Monday, 9th of October, 2023. Today we've got in the studio Onion Honey, who's going to be doing a live on-air in-studio performance. Onion Honey live in the studio. This is great. I've heard the recording so many times, and this is better.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So, who have we got here? Can you introduce yourselves?
Okay, should I walk up to the microphone?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm Esther, Esther Wheaton on the banjo. We've got Kaylee LeBlanc on the double bass, Leanne Swanko on the mandolin and guitar. We're going to have a swap later. Guitar right now, mandolin later. And Dave Pike on the mandolin / guitar.
Ah, cool. So, how did you get together? I mean, you sound great. How long have you been working together?
Well, Dave and I have been playing together for more than 11 years.
Yep.
Yep, as the duo Onion Honey. And we've had a couple of different other members that have joined us in previous years, but yes, exactly. But Kaylee and Leanne have been with us for about 6 years now, I think, since 2017. So yeah, we've had a few years to get our sound pretty solid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now you've been playing together for a while. Are you all going to stick it out, or do you expect further?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You sound great together.
As far as we all know. As far as we know.
Yeah. You sound great together, so I certainly don't want you to break it up.
Oh yeah. Well, neither do we.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how did you come across the instrument? I mean, you're a bluegrass band, are you?
Yeah, I guess kind of.
String band.
We're a string band.
String band.
Fellas. Yeah.
I think the only
we
thing
play
missing...
old time and classic country and all kinds of stuff. So sometimes the bluegrass purists would not call us bluegrass.
No?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you being a bluegrass band?
Well, I play a style of banjo called clawhammer banjo, where
Okay.
I'm striking the banjo strings and then hitting the drone string. So like a stroke like that.
Okay.
And bluegrass players pick. They do rolls and things like that, and they pick and they use picks and and that's kind of the driving force of bluegrass music. And I don't do that thing. So
Just
yeah.
because the banjo is being played slightly differently,
Yeah.
you lose that classification.
Yeah.
Aw.
I mean, we play some different repertoire as well.
It's
so.
not that strict, you know.
No.
But
Some
there
people
are
are that strict.
Some people are that strict. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the purists would complain.
They do.
Yeah.
They
You do old-time country as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
yeah, Carter family, things
Okay.
like that. Yeah,
Okay.
lots of old-timey gospel music as well, things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
There's a special category in the CRTC music classifications for old-time country music, country
Oh,
music
fun.
from before the mid-1950s or so.
Yep. Yep,
and,
that's right up our alley.
Yeah, and they give us credits, for, and actually impose a quota on radio stations to play a certain amount of it.
Wow.
So-
I didn't
Well,
know
that last
that.
one-
Very glad you're here.
Thanks. I don't know if we're playing any today.
Darling, what we just
I
played,
think
is
Black
it?
Eyed Susie's not old-time country.
It's
Well,
not
it
trad?
might be. It is trad. It's a traditional Appalachian tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would qualify. I mean, if you ask me.
The traditional Appalachian, that's
Yeah.
from the bluegrass country.
Yeah, from bluegrass country, sort of more. I mean, bluegrass country tends to be further west than. This is very pedantic. Yeah, bluegrass music tends to be a little further west and a little further south in the Appalachians,
Okay.
and then kind of West Virginia and the Panhandle of Maryland, areas like that of the Appalachian Mountains. So a little more east, a little more north,
Okay.
are where the old time. That's where clawhammer banjo and fiddle tunes and things like that have had their root.
Okay. But your repertoire varies, across the country. It's all
Yes.
Western style music.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we play with these instruments all the time,
Right.
so it is, that definitely influences the sound.
Right. What's the origin of bluegrass? I mean, it's very distinctive. It's
Very distinctive.
very geographically oriented.
It's
can
also
answer that.
very young. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it was formed in the 1950s, I think.
40s or 50s.
40s or 50s. It came out of.
By Bill Monroe specifically.
Oh.
He was
Yeah.
a specific person that he
Came up
put
with bluegrass.
country and blues together, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he in fact did not call it bluegrass. It was thrust upon him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Monroe is not. Is he still around?
No.
No, but he was around recently.
Yeah.
The last 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so young, because it was formed in, sort of generated in the 50s and 60s, lots of the bluegrass greats are still around or very recently passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I first heard about bluegrass about 1980, 81 or so.
Yep.
And it was pretty niche, unusual music even then. And I think even today,
Yeah.
although it's very popular, it's
Yeah.
still niche.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you find that for getting playing gigs? Do people say, "Oh, you're a bluegrass band. We really don't want that," or do they say, "Oh, you're a bluegrass band. We really do want that"?
I mean, we don't usually bill ourselves as a bluegrass band.
Ah.
We're more of like a country and folk band,
Okay.
right? So that doesn't tend to throw up too many barriers.
Okay.
But we don't play the typical bar stuff, right? We don't play your classic rock kind of thing,
Right.
right? But I mean, nobody's thrown us out. Nobody's asked us to leave or anything like that.
Okay. The venues you're playing probably aren't going to be the typical back of the restaurant ambient music stuff either.
Oh, we do a couple of those. We
Okay.
do a first Wednesday of the month every month at the Grand Trunk Saloon in Kitchener.
Oh, okay. That's down the
Yeah.
road from here.
Yep, and that's sort of a back of the restaurant.
But it
ambient
is a
music
saloon,
style thing.
you
but
know,
it
to
is
be
a
fair,
saloon.
you know, so.
We are the vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And aside from like a regular Wednesday gig has got to be great. I mean,
Yeah.
most musicians that I've been speaking to the last little while are scrambling to get one gig here, one gig there, but you've got a steady spot.
Yeah, we have a steady spot at the Grand Trunk. We don't have too much trouble getting enough. Like, we all have day jobs, so we're not trying to scramble to
Oh.
make a living at this,
Okay.
which would be a scramble, I think. But we definitely get enough gigs to keep us busy, when we're not working.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's good, and it's good for the music community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of records lately too.
Yeah, I guess in the last 12 months we have 2 full lengths, so that counts.
Got the kids. You've got the Christmas one.
Yeah.
There's the new one. Is that?
The brand new one came out in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly original material with some traditional music and covers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about the studio experience. You've done this often at this point. I mean, compared to some bands, 3 albums is often.
We've made several albums, yeah, but historically we've just done it in a home studio. Dave has a home studio and records us, but this most recent full-length album that we did, we actually did in a professional recording studio with Andy McGoffin at the House of Miracles in Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great. It was a very different experience for us to have someone else doing the recording while we all played together.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really fun. Like
Something new to me, and it's getting less new as time progresses. But the idea of producers, having somebody come in and provide creative influence in your music. Did you get produced?
Not exactly.
No.
We had some friends and family some friends and family come. I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Yeah, you're fine.
Come in and give us some tips. We played a couple songs from the album, and asked for kind of their opinion.
Feedback
right?
and
Okay.
yeah,
And these are
that kind of
musician friends, right? Or musician family, right? So they know a thing or two, but yeah. So they came in, gave a couple of tips. Some of them made it through to the album, and some of them didn't.
thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was good. It was great.
We really made most of our artistic choices on our own, with some advice from others, and definitely Andy had some input as well on some of the choices that we made. So yeah,
It's a pretty full album. They all have been.
Yeah.
What, 10, 15 tracks?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Somewhere around that number.
we
Which
like
is
folks to
unusual.
get their money worth.
A lot of people are just doing, 3 or 4 tracks, calling them EPs instead. So that's one heck of a repertoire. And you're playing without sheet music. You've got it all memorized.
Yep.
How do you do that? How does one memorize?
Play it a lot of times in a row.
Yeah. What Kaylee said.
Yeah.
That's practice.
Yes,
practice.
we practice every week. We play lots of gigs, 1 or 2 gigs a week as well.
So is there a specific practice session that you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Monday nights.
Monday
yeah.
nights.
Can
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
go out and let it ring on Wednesdays and
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's something that you've memorized well that you could play again?
Well, why don't we play a song called "The Pickled Sheriff Yodel"? This is an original song.
Pickled Sheriff Yodel.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds intriguing. You've got Onion Honey on CKMS Community Connections. Going to be yodeling.
Yodel. Well, at least saying the word yodel.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah. Is this one on?
They're all on.
All right, here we go. Pickled Sheriff Yodel. The hour was getting late and the town was closing down. We were getting rowdy drinking and we had no plans to leave. Sheriff came running, said get out of my old town. We threw him in a barrel and we got a brief reprieve.
Well, the sheriff he got free and he called in some recruits so we could take our wagon down. Do the bar and what we all do. We could spend the night in jail, wearing dirty striped suits. Bring our guns and we shot first and then we hit the road.
Honey in the studio. Sheriff's Pickle Yodel?
Pickled sheriff.
Pickled Sheriffs.
Because we got the sheriff in the barrel, where presumably he was being pickled.
Oh, yeah, I was too busy listening to the music to pay much attention to the lyrics.
That's quite all right.
How do you come up with that? I mean, this is an original song?
Yep. I guess I wrote it. I'll do the mic thing. Yeah, that was an original song. I actually I wrote it based on a dream that I had while I was on tour with a different band. But the story in the song doesn't particularly end well. But the tour did end well, so you know.
Okay, that's good.
That's all right.
That's good. How long does it take to write a Pickled Sheriff's Yodel?
I mean, it depends really on the song. On some of them come and go in the amount of time it takes to play it. You know, 10 minutes, right?
But this
that one, I think that one was pretty quick. Some of them just come to you, you know. And when there's only one word in the chorus, it sure helps.
Yes.
Right. Only got to write a couple of verses.
Yeah. One of those things where new verses keep coming along and expanding the song.
Yeah. Well, I had a story to tell, right? Like
Yes.
I had this dream that is based on, and so it just kind of, the dream was in a more modern context, and so I just threw them in a wagon. There was some horses involved, and in a saloon, right? Getting run out of town, pretty much. But yeah, so it kind of wrote itself. I just put the story was there, and I just sort of put some words and rhymes in, and then the word yodel.
So this is one where the lyrics were first and the music followed along.
I think so. Yeah. That one was on our last album, so it's a few years old now. So the details are a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah. Is that common? Well, you're all songwriters, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it all the same sort of process? You know, stuff comes to you in a dream and you make it happen?
No. I follow the tried and true songwriting technique of having a note on my phone where I write down like turns of phrases for songs. And
That seems to be the
eventually
way it's
someone
done
will
nowadays.
Come together. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have these visions of somebody slaving over a piano, writing down each individual note on a set of sheet music, and that doesn't happen so much anymore.
Only in certain genres.
It probably depends on the people. Yeah.
And a lot of our stuff we learn and kind of create by ear, so like it's hardly written down at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short of the words.
That's part of the traditional old time music thing anyway, is to learn by ear rather than learn by tab or learn by sheet music, that kind of thing.
Okay. And that's how you pass the music along between each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Sit down.
Wow. We do have charts.
Chord sheets.
Okay.
Chord sheets, yeah.
So everyone can memorize it ahead of time. Yeah.
Or I mean, we did Banjo Church, our weekly live stream for 3 years during the pandemic.
Yeah, I saw some of those. Those are cool.
And so that we definitely cheated. We were playing like different songs every week, right? So we had
We were reading.
we had a
the whole
TV
time.
with lyrics and chords and stuff on it. So
Yeah.
we looked a lot cooler than we actually were. Don't tell anyone.
No, you won't put it on the radio or anything
Okay,
like
good.
that.
Great.
Yeah. So how long you've been playing together for a while, and how long have you all been playing music? I mean, you're really, really good.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks.
I think it varies. Me, I started playing guitar when I was like 14, so maybe 25 years, I guess, if I got the math right. How old am I?
how,
Yeah, okay,
how
good.
how does one pick up the mandolin? I mean, it's not that common an instrument. You've got to go out and make an effort to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the mandolin, truthfully, I picked up the mandolin with the intention of learning fiddle. Because the mandolin and the fiddle are the same tuning. There's twice as many strings on a mandolin,
Okay.
but they're the same as what's on a fiddle. And I figured, figure this one out, and then the fiddle is just a couple adjustments from there. That's not true.
Oh.
Actually, no. It's really hard to play the violin, but and I still can't.
Okay. So you still haven't got a fiddle. You still.
I have one.
Oh, you do.
He's
I
better
just
than he
can't
thinks he
play
is.
it.
Okay. Upright bass is another one of those instruments that you have to make an effort to go out and do something with.
That's true. I started playing the double bass to play with this band.
Oh, really?
It's actually a story that I love telling. So I went to school for music and I played the trombone, which is not in any way related or relevant. And I tweeted out to the universe, completely unprompted one day, man, I really want to learn the double bass because I have always wanted to learn it. I've always wanted to play it. And Esther, who I went to school with, replied to me saying, how seriously would you like to learn the double bass? Because their current bassist was planning to leave the band and they needed somebody in. And I went, okay. And now here we are, 5-6 years later.
Wow, that is a cool story.
Right?
Yeah. And it's a new bass. This is not.
Well, it came to me by concession, so new to me.
New to you.
Lightly used.
Lightly used.
It's
Yeah.
very shiny.
It is. Yes, that's true. Very gently used, I think.
Okay. So Esther, the same question for the banjo. How do you become a banjo player?
Well, I, as Kaylee mentioned, went to school with her, so I was in music school as well. I studied the oboe and classical composition at Laurier, and I had a physical thing happen when I started, towards the end of my oboe school career, where my soft palate would flap when I'd play the oboe, because there's lots of air pressure going through a very tiny reed with the oboe. And it was very uncomfortable, and it also made a weird noise whenever I played. So I had to stop. I had to stop playing the oboe.
That's too bad.
But at the time, I was going to lots of music festivals and getting really into folk music. So I thought I would buy a banjo on Kijiji. So I did.
Just like that.
Yeah, and I taught myself to play by watching people on YouTube. YouTube was in its infancy at this stage. So there were not that many banjo instructional videos, but there were a couple. So I found them. Old guy with a long white beard and
The best banjo
and
instructors.
and an old wood stove, and he would talk about his honeybee Maybell and how much he hated when he practiced the banjo. Anyway, so yeah, I learned from YouTube, and then things have progressed since then. That was 14 years ago or something now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about the guitar? How'd you come across that?
Well, guitar is just one of the instruments I play. I was a 5-string banjo player initially, and I was shopping for banjos. Thank you, Esther. If I get any closer, I'm going to hit my nose. Shopping for banjos when I came across these two, auditioning folk musicians.
Okay.
So I came with the guitar in hand because Esther played the banjo, and I put my banjo away. And then over the years, I brought my mandolin out, so I've been able to play that. But I am your classic campfire guitarist, busking banjo player. Everything is either by ear or by hope and prayer. That's how I learned.
Oh, wow. You've all done very, very well. There's hope for me yet, I suppose. If,
No doubt.
if you can pick up an instrument and play it and be this good after a little while, then maybe there's hope for me.
I believe.
Thanks.
Got something else? What else can you show off to me that gives me more hope that I can learn something?
Well, geez, we'll play another original song. This one's called Hellcat Etiquette.
Okay. On CKMS Community Connections, live in the studio.
When to speak up and when to hold your peace.
Onion Honey live in the studio. It's wonderful. How many songs have you folks written?
Oh, jeez.
Dozens and
Dozens and dozens.
Yes, many.
Lots.
Many.
Yeah, Dave and I are the primary songwriters for the band Onion Honey. But Kaylee and Leanne are starting to contribute some songs, which is
Yep.
pretty great. But oh yeah, many albums worth. Plus from mine and Dave's previous bands as well. So lots of original material.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're covering other artists as well.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we play some traditional music, but we also play some covers,
Yeah.
country, but also like more contemporary covers. Like we do a version of Chaos's Crab Bucket, for example, which is
Okay.
pretty fun.
Not sure I know that at all.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a hip hop tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't have thought hip hop and
Exactly.
banjos, mandolins,
Right?
and uprights
Yeah.
go together. So.
It's it's a Toronto thing. Chaos is a rapper. He grew up in the same town that I did in Whitby. But we got to this song by way of the Good Lovelies, who did a more folky kind of cover of it, and we just kind of grabbed that version
Okay.
instead. Yeah.
Okay. Something that really caught my ear this summer was your Gordon Lightfoot cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Was that something you already had in the pipeline before?
To
Gordon
some
Lightfoot's
degree.
passing?
Yeah, I very early on in my banjo career, probably too early to be honest, I took the Via Rail out west with my friend Laura, who played the accordion, and they used to have an onboard musician program where musicians would get free passage. You'd get a cabin and free meals if you played 4 or 5 sets a day on the train. So it was Toronto to Vancouver, or you could do Montreal to Halifax.
There's
yeah.
no downside to that.
There's no downside. No, it was wonderful. It was a great experience, even though, as mentioned, we were maybe not as good as we should have been. But we had a great time, and I, being the personality that I am, decided that we would learn as many train songs as possible
Okay.
for the occasion specifically, and also as many Canadian train songs as possible. And so, of course, we learned a ton of Gordon Lightfoot train songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a little bit of a break where Onion Honey got started up and all that kind of thing. But
Oh, so this train program was well before Onion Honey formed.
before Onion Honey,
Oh.
pre-Onion Honey train thing. But I've always loved Steel Rail Blues,
Yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot's great train song, and I thought, what better time to bring it back with the band. And I really love our arrangement. Lots of really awesome harmonies. Yeah.
Yeah. Something I'm going to be playing today?
We are actually.
Oh, okay. I'll be looking forward to that.
Great, yeah.
Sort of my song for the summer. That and Eye of the Mountains, Gillian. You know, the two of
Awesome.
the two groups have sort of made the summer that way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Eye the Mountain. They're great.
Yeah. Very similar actually, because they're a very vocal harmonic band as well.
Mm-hmm.
So have you played together?
Not live.
Oh.
We participated in one of their like lockdown Christmas song videos
Okay.
once.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need is a festival. We need a
Yeah.
festival of local string, harmonic song writers, and get you all together. Because there's so much talent here. Kitchen
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That'd
this
be
is
great.
a great town for original music for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Underrated, I think.
Hmm.
So how's it been this summer? Have you been out on the circuit other than your local tavern?
Yeah,
Singing?
we played a bunch of festivals this summer, some smaller ones, but we played our first bluegrass festival this year,
Oh.
which was pretty fun. We
Yeah.
camped up in River Valley, which is just off to one side of Sudbury, so like a pretty far drive,
Okay.
which is great. But yeah, just kind of toured the album all through the summer and late spring around southwestern Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a first then, doing a tour?
Kind of. We did like a mini tour for our last album, which was in 2019. Yeah, where it was like, because we all have day jobs, we have to like
Yeah.
do long weekend chunks. So it was like long weekend, work, long weekend. Yeah, so.
Not your traditional tour.
Yeah.
Even this one wasn't so much a tour. It was
Exactly.
just many day trips.
A series
Yeah.
of day trips. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about COVID. How has that affected your ability to perform, to go out, get gigs? Is it over? I mean, I'm sitting here wearing a mask, so
Yes,
for me
Yeah.
it's
we
not
appreciate
over.
that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we definitely appreciate that. I mean, it's definitely not over. and we are still taking precautions. We all test every week.
Oh,
Still,
okay,
yep.
good.
Some of the members of the band have immunocompromised households, so we
Okay.
are pretty cautious. And we were pretty cautious, like we had a longer tail, I think, than a lot of other bands before we started performing live indoors,
Okay.
that kind of thing. Yeah, it was rough, you know, to have to cancel all of our shows and then only play outdoors for a couple of summers
Yeah.
and then all that kind of stuff. But we've really done our best to take care.
Did you
Yeah.
do anything other than the mountain?
Oh
COVID
yeah,
fest thing?
our weekly banjo
Oh, of
church.
course you did, of course.
Yeah, our
Yes.
live cast every week.
Yep.
We would
That's right.
log on to YouTube and Facebook and stream a bunch of music. We put up the charts Dave was talking about. We shared them with people so they could jam along from
Yep.
home, because that's something we've been really involved in as well. Our local jams. Dave hosted the TWB local jam for
Oh, yeah?
several years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not anymore. That
Not
was
anymore,
a
but
pre-pandemic thing.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so we thought we would kind of combine that and do a weekly live cast that's also a community jam, and we chat to people in the comments, and yeah, we had a really great returning audience. We're actually going to be doing a season 2.
Oh,
So
good.
season 1 was 3 years long, which felt maybe too long.
Yeah.
But we're going to do an 8 or 10 episode season 2 starting at the end of October.
When the big outdoor gig season kind of folds up.
Yeah.
They're still online.
Yes, they
I
are.
spent one night binging a bunch of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the performance here. We get to know you folks.
Yes.
By,
We talk a lot.
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
It's a little strange actually to encounter fans from Banjo Church who are like, "Hey, I know you. We're friends," and we're like, "Hi,
Who are you?
no stranger."
Yeah.
Yeah. Has that happened? Have you been accosted on the street?
Not on the street,
Mostly
but
at
at shows.
shows.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is to say we do love it.
Oh yes,
it's great.
absolutely. Appreciate and love the Banjo Church folks, but it's a little jarring sometimes, you know.
Yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine that, you know.
As long as they understand that I don't know what you look like.
So there's a season 2 you said, or I guess a season 4 since went for
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It starts October 29th, Sunday at 11 a.m.
We'll be wearing costumes.
Yep, it's our
Playing some
spooky
stuff.
Sunday.
Oh,
That was something fun
okay.
we did. Is every we'd have play seasonally appropriate music. So we would do holiday music through the winter, and then we would always do a Halloween episode where we would dress up and play all the best haunted folk music.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like for Mother's Day and Father's Day, we'd play thematic folk songs. There's so many folk songs, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to pull out some
And that's-
appropriate ones.
So I understood that that's not just on YouTube, but on Facebook and
Yeah.
possibly Instagram. I'm not quite sure how that all works together.
Well, I think we
it's
just do
Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook, YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do Instagram Live too, but our system only casts
Okay.
to 2 things,
Okay.
so we picked those 2.
I'll pop those links into our show notes,
Great.
Awesome.
which you can see at radiowaterloo.ca/ccc.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a week or 2 before I get those up, I think. I'm
great.
way behind on catching up on show notes for other bands too. So.
That's all right.
My apologies to all the bands that have been in the studio this summer that I haven't got to yet.
Well, we're pretty easily Googleable also. We're everywhere at Onion Honey Music, so
Yeah.
Onion Honey is a good name
Thank you.
because it is unique. Yeah.
thanks.
It is interesting too because I have a bit of difficulty imagining what onion honey might actually be in real life, aside from that. Where did the name come from? How did you come up with that? There's a story. I can tell. Look at the
Yeah.
grins on their faces. I can tell there's a story here.
Wait, everyone's smiling because they know this story very, very well. But when Dave and I started playing music together and thinking about band names, we went for a drive out in the countryside around Waterloo region. And you know all those farms that are around that have their signs out front with
Yeah.
all their produce listed? Those are great for mining for band names. Just like pro tip. If you ever go out and you're like, yeah,
You need to name a folk
flavor
band.
combination. So we saw a place that had onions and honey and nothing else, and we thought, what a great flavor combination for a folk band. You know, a little sweet,
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
a little sharp, a little savory, and that's what we came up with.
Okay, so you might have ended up being pure maple syrup if you've been cruising around at another time of the year.
Yeah, we have when Dave was doing his own solo stuff, we did an alternate lineup called Maple Mustard,
Oh,
Which came from a farmer's market.
which also came from a farmer's market. Yeah, so Yep,
Okay.
could have been any combination of ingredients, but yeah.
So what is the classic Onion Honey sound or flavor that you infuse? I mean, you've said you're not entirely a traditional bluegrass band, but
Oh, geez.
We have a hard time answering that question, as you can tell. As you can
Fusion.
Everyone stepped away from the microphone.
tell. Yeah. Somebody else answer, please. I don't know.
I mean, we would say like old time country folk,
Or
which is
string band music.
string band.
music.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
play a lot of different stuff.
Yeah,
You do.
but there's a big difference between what we say, which is sort of nebulous, and then what other people say, which is almost exclusively bluegrass.
yeah.
That's
Because
not
it-
true.
It's almost exclusively bluegrass.
It's a lot of people say that.
Because it's a handy label, something that
It is.
exists in the lists of genres,
Yeah.
and it's easy to just
Yeah.
paste that over top of the music that you're playing.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
And we play pretty fast, which is pretty typical of bluegrass, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's got to take a while to work up to speed as well. So when you've got a new song, does it go? You go at full tilt right
We
off the bat?
definitely start slower.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like our early recordings. You can hear the previous versions of songs, and
Yeah.
we listen now, and it's like, oh, it's so slow. But yeah, we play them all faster now.
Yeah.
Takes time to work it up to speed.
Just the practice, I guess.
Exactly.
And sometimes that happens without us realizing it's
yeah.
happened.
Yes.
Ah. Do you ever come across a show where you've played faster than you thought you would and you've run out of stuff? Or do you have so much stuff in your back pocket that...
Our set lists are always
Too long.
longer than they need to be.
Way
For that reason exactly.
Yeah.
That's like 4 or 5 songs longer usually, just in
like
case we've been
40%.
motoring along or something doesn't feel
Okay.
right in the time.
Yeah.
I'll pad it out a little bit, and we'll be like, someone's having an allergy attack, so we'll skip a couple of the ones that he sings. And move on to the next
Good
one.
job keeping it vague there.
Gee, who could you be talking about?
You said something doesn't work out. Is it the audience reaction that will...
Sometimes.
Sometimes it'll be a
influence yourself?
vibe. Yeah, like if the audience isn't responding well to like a slower song or something, we might skip a slow one and move on to a fast
Or
one.
if everybody's like dancing and really excited, we're not
Yeah.
going to bust out a tragic waltz or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's the flexibility there is nice. And I guess
Yeah.
you've got to have a big repertoire to be able to do
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. To DJ a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You've got some instrumental tracks as well,
We do.
which
Yep.
is really nice for the radio station because the instrumental tracks are the ones that play the filler between shows. So
Oh, fun.
you're getting a fair bit of extra airplay because of the instrumentals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Noted.
I think we're due for another song.
Great. Well, why don't we do Steel Rail Blues?
Yes, please. Gordon Lightfoot cover from Onion Honey at CKMS Community Connections, live on air in studio.
Got my mail late last night. Letter from a girl that found the time to write to a lonesome boy somewheres in the night. Send me a railroad ticket to take me to her loving arms, and the big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. Well, I've been out here many long days, haven't found a place that I can call my own. Not a two-bit bed to lay my body on. Been stood up, I've been shook down, I've been dragged into the sand, and the big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. Been uptight most every night, walking along the streets of this old town. Not a friend around to tell my troubles to.
That's lovely. That's Onion Honey live in the studio. Steel Rail Blues, originally by Gordon Lightfoot,
Yeah.
but rendered beautifully by Onion Honey.
Thank you.
That's a summer song. That is absolutely my song for the summer.
Thank
So,
you.
very, very nice. What's coming up in the winter? What do you plan on doing in the next little while?
Well, our big exciting thing is that we're playing at we're showcasing at the Folk Music Ontario conference, which is actually this week
Oh,
in London, Ontario. So it's not really the winter, but it is soon.
it feels like it out there.
It does kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It'll be our first time showcasing at the conference.
Wow.
And, yeah, we've got
That's big
several
leagues.
showcases. Yeah.
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 And then new music happening over the winter?
Oh yeah, we might be working on some more instrumental stuff.
Okay.
Dave and I would like to do some duo instrumental tunes. We've been doing a lot of busking and playing background music for harvest dinners and things like that this
Right.
year as a duo. So some instrumental music coming out probably this winter
Okay.
at some point. Yeah.
And that'll be released as an album?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Back in the studio or home recording?
Home recording probably
Yeah?
this time. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Did the studio recording not work well for you, or is it just that this particular type of music?
Dollars is the answer for that one.
Ah,
Is that it is
yes.
budget. We would love to do something. We'd love to do is some of our favorite rep from the banjo church sessions is to do a gospel album as a full quartet. So lots of that old classic country gospel music and some originals that we have that fit in well with that kind of genre. So that'll probably be our next Onion Honey thing that we'll be
Okay.
working on. Yeah.
So, and then coming back up to the season, when does the season really start for you? You do a lot of indoor work, or is it lots of outdoor festivals, street parties?
Summer is definitely the busy time with
Yeah.
the outdoor festivals and porch parties and all that kind of stuff. We do weddings and events as well, so that stuff happens
Yeah.
in the summer and fall as well. But we do have a bunch of stuff coming up this winter. We're doing a number of holiday shows because we put out a holiday album
Yes.
last Christmas, which has been really fun.
Which we haven't been playing much because...
I mean, it's the summer
yeah.
and fall. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes complete
But it's coming
sense.
up.
Yeah. So we've got a number of holiday shows booked already, which is great. And then January, February we'll be doing kind of regular shows around.
Still at the
stuff
saloon
like
and-
the saloon and
Yeah.
at probably some breweries and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the Transac in Toronto. I think we've got
Oh.
one booked in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be a popular place.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
great spot.
Is it? Never been. So.
That's cool. You should. On January, when's the date?
The 13th?
I thought it was
13th?
I don't
I
know.
believe
Yeah.
you.
Got a nice website, which
Thank
happens
you.
to have a calendar on it, which
Sure does.
I would like to see for every band that's out there making music, just to make it easy for people to go out and find where you are and when you're there, and I guess to get the people who want you to play to find out when you've got a bit of free time available.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's onionhoney.com.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and you're on the social medias.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter,
Yep.
Facebook.
Facebook
We're
too.
not doing a ton of tweeting these days, but Instagram and Facebook, and that's where we're active.
Okay,
Yep.
that's Onion Honey Music.
Mastodon.
You're on Mastodon.
Yes, we are.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Okay.
Onion Honey Music at Musicians Today.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Anyway, everywhere we are, we're at Onion Honey Music. So.
Somehow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and we're on all the streaming stuff too, Spotify and Apple Music and
Right.
Deezer.
For
Dave always
Deezer.
makes sure to mention
Okay.
Deezer, and I don't know why.
I don't know Deezer.
No, me neither.
Neither does anybody else.
Sounds like the sort of name that fits well with pickled sheriffs and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Yeah. So I'll put all those links in the show notes as well.
Thank you.
Kind of a single point of contact for the entire band and all the places where you're at.
Fabulous.
Yeah. You get a lot of contacts through the social media, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah, fair amount. Yeah, we get booking requests and things like that through all of our social media,
Okay.
and sometimes weird places that we don't always check. But yes,
And you're doing all that work yourself. You're doing all the booking.
yes, we
you know.
don't have management.
Yeah. No. Okay.
If anyone's interested.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested to do it without pay.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands out there looking for management, and a lot of bands doing it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the feeling that takes up a lot of time that you should be playing music.
It's a lot of admin.
Or working our jobs, let's
Or
be
working our
honest.
jobs.
Yeah.
But it's okay, and we're very lucky in that a lot of stuff comes to us without us seeking it out now.
Ah,
That's that 10-year investment.
Yeah,
I
that's
think, paying off there.
that
Yeah.
long career
Yeah.
is that a lot
Yeah.
of people will just know about us already and email us.
the up ramp to fame.
Yeah.
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 So when you're getting the bookings, have you had to turn people away? We're too busy. We can't handle.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, if
we had
there's
to
a
turn
double
one away
booking.
for this weekend, in fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
'cause
yeah,
we're-
it happens.
We're already playing stuff this weekend.
Oh.
Yep.
That's a good position to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I always feel sad about it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it goes.
Yeah, not much you can do. You can only play so many shows in one day, and we've already got 2 that day.
yep.
Right.
Well, 2
So-
sets anyway.
Yeah.
And you said that you've been on a sort of a tour. Is there any touring planned for the near future, the far future?
Oh, that'll depend on what happens at the conference this weekend, I
Ah.
guess, because we're going to be applying for a bunch of festivals again for next summer, and maybe a few a little further out. Typically, we've applied to ones that are within driving distance, like a day trip kind of driving
Okay.
distance in Ontario, but we'll be applying to some in other provinces this year, probably.
Okay. So these will be the
so-
overnight, multi-week
Exactly.
tours.
So we'll do if we get a festival out east or out west somewhere, then we would, do a longer tour out that
Yeah.
way to make it worth the trip.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're not going to get much sleep when you do that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Probably not a lot of sleep, but it would be a great time. And the handy part of being a quartet with no drums is that we all fit in our minivan.
Yeah,
So we have great road trips.
yeah, I can see that. Nothing like a 10-piece drum kit to take up the bulk of the space in
Yeah.
the van.
Yeah. The double bass is enough.
Yeah, well, no bigger than a person, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It means we can't have 5 people in the van.
Ah,
So
Yeah.
okay. I think we have time for one more.
we do. Yeah. Is this? Oh, should we
Wanna
do
do,
one? Do you want us to
instrumental?
do the instrumental one now or later?
Let's do the instrumental one now,
Okay.
and
Great.
then we'll see how it goes for the play-out music at the end.
Okay. Great.
Onion Honey in the studio on CKMS Community Connections. Going to
Quick
be
costume change.
Yeah.
swapping the guitar and the mandolin, and
Between Dave and Leanne.
doing a bit of retuning as well. So are you tuning it into a different tuning from normal?
Yeah, this is, I'm tuning it into drop D. So it just the low E string gets tuned down to a D and everything else is the same.
We're gonna play a traditional Appalachian again tune called "Spotted Pony."
last note fade out before I interrupt by talking over top of it. That's lovely too. What would you all be doing if you weren't playing music?
Like hobbies? Or what do we do now when we're not playing music?
Well, possibly a bit of both, but you know, what would fill the gap if the music wasn't there?
Other music.
An alternate style, yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, we all work full time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us have families and spouses and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, when at the beginning of the pandemic, when we all stopped playing together for a big chunk of time, I think the answer is we all went a little nuts.
We all went to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where we that's right.
Yeah.
Music is your road to sanity, the therapy that
Pretty
keeps you
much.
going.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah. Get a lot of fulfillment and creative spark from it, for sure.
Yeah. When you're playing the music, I sense that there is just sort of, you know, I can't quite describe it, but you know, it looks good. You all look very, very happy when you're playing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. That's been a long time coming, let me tell you.
It's true. A lot of the music playing face is a concentrated glower.
Yeah. We are having fun. It just doesn't look like it. It's the thing.
But I'm glad to hear that we now look like that we're having fun. Yeah, we work on it a lot.
I've heard the playing face described as the skank face.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Well, that's gonna stick forever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Manitoba Hal, who's a mandolin player,
Yeah.
is ukulele player,
Okay. Cool.
has this story and song about the skank face.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's well known in the music industry at any rate.
Oh, we'll have to check it out.
Musical circles.
I've
Maybe it'll show up
I've
on
heard
Sunday.
stank face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is skank face.
Anyway. Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So upcoming every Wednesday night at
First
Wednesday.
Wednesday of the month.
first Wednesday of the month.
Wednesday,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I thought
Once
this
a
was a
month.
weekly thing.
Yeah. No, it's once a month.
once
Yeah.
a month.
Otherwise, we would all go crazy probably
Okay.
with too many shows. But yeah.
So I've got another 4 weeks to wait before it comes back up.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, November will be next.
Yeah.
And then this weekend is the big thing at London.
Folk Music Ontario in London, yeah.
Ontario.
There's one public show that's not part of the conference, like at the hotel. So you
Okay.
can get in for free at the Good Foundation Theatre in downtown London.
So catch the fan
Saturday
show
night.
sometime.
Yeah.
Radio waves don't reach that far, but
Oh, well.
the internet does. So if you're out there
anyone's-
listening,
yeah.
go
Or if
see
you want
Onion
to
Honey.
drive to London.
If you want to drive to London, or
Yeah.
however you might be.
Do you have that? Do you have the groupies that follow you from gig to gig?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's a couple.
There's
There's
not
a
a
couple.
horde or anything, but there are definitely some folks who show up to pretty much every gig.
in unexpected places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have this problem where like I don't see people unless I expect them to be there. And we played a festival this summer where some folks from here were there and they were standing in front of me and I didn't register that they were there. Yeah, so I'm kind of a monster in that way. It's real.
We appreciate the people who come out. We just
That's right.
suck at appreciating them.
well, I appreciate you've been here for the entire hour and played so much music for me.
Thank you for having us.
pleasure.
It's been a delight.
I would love to hear your new music when it comes out, so send it our way and we'll put it
Will
on the
do.
air. That goes for anybody. If you've got music to send to the radio station, office@radiowaterloo.ca. Send us attachments, send us links to download files, and we'll put it on the air for you. You've been listening to CKMS Community Connections on CKMS FM 102.7. CKMS Community Connections is a production of Radio Waterloo. It is produced by Jennifer Strong, who is coming back on the air in a couple of weeks. My name is Bob Johnson. Onion Honey's been in the studio for the last hour, and really liked having you here. You want to play me out?
Sure, let's do it.
Cool plan.
CKMS Community Connections is heard every Monday at 11 a.m. and alternate Fridays at 3 p.m. I'll talk to you again next time.